Begin here at noon. Big news from the Vatican, where Pope Francis makes his strongest remarks yet about priests who sexually abuse children.
He apologized for the, quote, evil done to the victims and personally asked for forgiveness. CBS 2's Tony Aiello is live at St. Patrick's Cathedral with the details and the reaction as well. Tony.
Mary, last year the Pope spoke briefly about the sex abuse scandal, calling it the shame of the church. But when he visited Brazil last July, he declined an opportunity to meet with victims, and that disappointed many. His comments this morning in Rome are being called his most heartfelt and forceful yet. Pope Francis was speaking to an international group that aids children when he departed from his prepared text, saying off the cuff, "I feel compelled to personally take on all the evil which some priests, quite a few in number, obviously not compared to the number of all the priests, to personally ask for forgiveness for the damage they have done for having sexually abused children. The Church is aware of this damage. It is personal, moral damage carried out by men of the Church, and we will not take one step backward with regards to how we will deal with this problem and the sanctions that must be imposed. On the contrary, we have to be even stronger because you cannot interfere with children." They're the strongest words on the sex abuse crisis Francis has spoken since becoming Pope 13 months ago, and they come a few weeks after a scathing UN report condemned the Church for not acting more forcefully to confront the abuse of children.
The thing is that I don't want child protection to be an act of faith. I want child protection to be based on facts. And so far, Pope Francis hasn't done anything to protect the victims.
The Church says that's not a fair statement, pointing out Francis has appointed a commission that includes a sex abuse victim to review procedures and advise the Church on best policies to protect children.
The Holy See is also committed to listen carefully to victims of abuse.
In New York, Catholics had this to say about the Pope's apology.
I think he's very open and, I would say, liberal in his opinions, and that's something that frees a lot of Catholics, I think.
He's a very compassionate Pope and is wanting earnestly to mend those things that have been hurt.
Back live outside the cathedral, the advocacy group SNAP, that stands for Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, is saying this afternoon the Pope should be judged by his deeds, not his words. Those critics say they're waiting for more indications that confronting this crisis is a priority for the Pope. Live in Midtown, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.